called At the Pool. They come fully equipped, balancing babies on their hips, snatching toddlers the second knees scrape cement. From a distance, I observe the maneuvers of these intuitive mothers like a scientist gathering data. I probe the cold water. My little boy jumps from the concrete cusp into my outspread arms. When we surface and smile, I suspect he can sense my invention. Evening before. You are out with friends when I fold your new undershirts and pile them on your bed and balance your granite gray socks atop like a cairn of stones stacked at a trailhead. According to the letter, they will provide the rest. Uniform and boots, toothbrush and towel, belt, razor, laundry bag, earplugs. Girls will get white socks and tear gas. Combat soldiers will be gifted nifty extras. Whistle, insulating tape, pocket-sized rule book. Before leaving the room, I scan your desk. An open book, face down. A half lemon, innards sucked dry. Third part is called Churning, but it's about my experiences here in Jerusalem, a lot of it based on images, including this one. This is a very short poem. I wrote this about the hill opposite our house, which I suppose many of you have been to, which is now known as Givat Tormosin, which has incredibly beautiful lupins spread all over it. And I sat down in the flowers, and I recommend you do this. Now it's at its peak. If you sit down, instead of looking down at them, but you sit at their level, and they move very slightly in the wind. And it's a very, very beautiful thing, and it's what inspired me to write this. It's called Numinous Experience. If you don't know what numinous means, it's explained in the back of the book. On the rock-mounded, antenna-mounted hill, mired in barbed wire and haunted by the silent voices of sacrificed sons, lupins root, stretching their spines and opening their palms like meditating monks, chanting a mantra of reverberant purple. It's called Ode to the Status Quo. Oh, status quo, you are intentionally ambiguous. A catalyst of paralysis, an inducer of suspended animation. You're a magician without imagination, a guide with no sense of direction, a hostage taker who refuses to make demands. Oh, you cry, I'm just a step in the interim, to which I reply, the barest of minimums, nothing more than what already is or already has been. Like the immovable ladder that rests against the holy sepulchre, you tempt ascent, but prevent us from reaching the window. The last trip we took was last year, around this time, the whole family, and we went to the Netherlands, where my mother really grew up, and where she was hidden. She and her parents hid in an attic for 2 years and several months during the war, and they lost all of their family, but they survived in hiding. And this is them. So I've written several poems based on these trips. So I'll read 2 from that section. This is called Liberation Day. I extract it from a stack of photos hidden in a faded shoebox. On the back, a cool caption jotted in a fancy hand. Liberation Day, 1945. Opa dignifies the day with hat, jacket, and tie. Oma relies on memory to fashion a smile. Scrawny 9-year-old mom squints into a sun she hasn't glimpsed since she was 7. The tiny polder house that staged their disappearing act dissolves in an impressionist mist. A guardrail charts the curve of a long, flat road ahead. This is called synchronicity. What else could you call this? A synchronous moment. Synchronicity. We ride side by side, skimming the infinite flatness, when our guide identifies the bend in the road where they posed on Liberation Day. We kickstand the bikes, steady our breath, squint the scene into focus. The old barn, lopped off the edge, nestles in the unfolding field. Herringboned bricks array in patches beneath crumbling asphalt. We huddle to replicate the photo. Now 5, not 3 in the family, though really 4 generations, and many more, together at the bend and beyond. That's all.